Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The Omani-Indian businessmen meeting discusses in Muscat enhancing investment opportunities in a number of fields between the Sultanate and India. With the participation of 19 countries, the medical conference discusses in Salalah developing drug monitoring. And the Secretary General of the Ministry of Defense and a number of commanders review military cooperation fields with the British Defense Senior Advisor to the Middle East. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. The Omani-Indian businessmen meeting in Muscat today shed light on cooperation opportunities in economy, tourism and information technology fields, as well as enhancing investment and commercial partnership between both countries. More details in the following report by Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi.
Building business relations, enhancing economic investments between Oman and India, and reviewing investment opportunities in the economic zones of Suhar, Doqom and Salalah were the top highlighted topics discussed at the Omani-Indian businessmen meeting in Muscat today.
New areas of cooperation are being identified by the two governments. Our business communities are meeting together and they will find the ways to implement that strategy. We are looking at a 20-year strategy of how to enhance India-Oman bilateral trade and economic relations.
The meeting focused on enhancing cooperation in the fields of economy, tourism, information technology, and setting up joint projects in the food, logistics, and plastics industries.
We've identified areas of the grain and green policy, which is the grain security and the direct import and export of grains, of vegetables from India and into Oman and so on, and then onwards to the rest of the Gulf. We also talked about the policy of seeing whether we can do auto components in Oman with alumina and steel and the plastics industry that is coming up, the petrochemical industry, downstream industry that is here, to have a value addition done in Oman for Indian exports.
We are very hopeful that in the coming years with the government, both government doing a lot of cooperation, Indian business will be very beneficial, and I see a bright future for the Indian exporters here in Oman.
The meeting also aimed at raising the volume of Indian investments in the Sultanate. It's worth mentioning that India currently possesses investments exceed $500 million Omani riyals through more than 2,900 companies in the Sultanate in the sectors of trade, health, education, oil and gas, construction, transport, services and insurance, as well as finance, real estate, tourism, industry and mining sectors. For the Sultanate of Oman television, Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi, Muscat.
Works and sessions of the Eastern Mediterranean Drug Regulatory Authorities Conference in the Middle East kicked off in Dhofar today. The four-day event organized by the Regional Office of World Health Organization in cooperation with the Ministry of Health aimed to upgrade the regulatory process over medicines and unify mechanisms of selling and exporting medicines. Around 80 specialists in the pharma and regulatory authorities field from 19 countries took part in the event. The specialists presented a number of work papers which discussed a number of topics like low-quality medicines, monitoring medical products, and regulating biologically identical medications. His Excellency Mohammed bin Nasser al-Rasbi, Secretary General of the Ministry of Defense, received Lieutenant General Sir John Jordan Lorimer, British Defense Senior Advisor to the Middle East. During the meeting, they exchanged cordial talks and discussed matters of common concern. Major General Matar bin Salim al-Blushi, Commander of the Royal Army of Oman, also received the UK Defense Senior Advisor to the Middle East. The meeting exchanged cordial conversations and discussed matters of common concern in the military field. Meanwhile, Commodore Saeed bin Abdullah Al-Saadi, acting commander of the Royal Navy of Oman, also met the UK Defense Senior Advisor to the Middle East. During the meeting, they reviewed matters of common concern in the field of maritime cooperation between both countries. Within the strategic plans of the Sultanate to strengthen water resources, work is going on to complete the 5th phase of the cloud ionization station in Al-Qamar Mountain in the Governorate of Dhofar. His Excellency Ahmed bin Abdullah Al-Shahi, Minister of Regional Municipalities and Water Resources, during his visit to the project, affirmed that Al-Qamar Mountain Station, upon its completion, will be the 12th station in the Sultanate. It is worth mentioning that these stations were built in Al-Hajar Mountains and Dhofar, which are climatically considered suitable for cumulus cloud gathering. Still to come on our news bulletin. The Governorate of Al-Dhahira attracts tourists from inside and outside the Sultanate with its historical sites and magnificent sceneries.
عبق فاح بين جنباتها، فنفثت سلاما برائحة لبانها. حلقت عاليا نحو السماء، فنقشت بأبجدياتها تاريخا جميلا، وبكرمها أمست مضربا للأمثال. مهرجان صلالة السياحي 2018 من 10 من يوليو إلى 25 من أغسطس.
Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi met with Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, Director General of the World Health Organization, today in Beijing. Tedros has met with several Chinese officials this week, including First Lady Peng Liyuan and Vice President Wang Qishan. Tedros said that the WHO will stay committed to the One China principle and continue to deepen bilateral strategic cooperation in the Belt and Road Initiative and South cooperation. The European Union and Japan signed a landmark deal today that will eliminate nearly all tariffs on products they trade. The ambitious pact signed in Tokyo runs counter to the U.S. President Donald Trump's moves to hike tariffs on imports from many U.S. trading partners. It covers a third of the global economy and markets of more than 600 million people. Abiy said at a joint news conference with European Council President Donald Tusk and European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker that the European Union and Japan showed an underrated determination to lead the world as flag bearers for the free trade. Tusk praised the deal and said the partnership is being strengthened in various other areas, including defense, climate change, and human exchange, is sending a clear message against protectionism.
Tariff wars, aggressive rhetoric, unpredictability, irresponsibility, they are a real risk for our businesses.
An explosion caused by lava oozing into the ocean sent molten rock crashing throughout the roof of a sightseeing boat off Hawaii's Big Island, injuring 23 people yesterday. A woman in her 20s was in serious condition with a broken thigh bone. 3 others were in stable condition at the hospital with unspecified injuries. The rest of the passengers suffered from burns, scrapes, and other superficial injuries. They were aboard a tour boat that takes visitors to see lava plunging into the ocean from a volcano that has been erupting for 2 months. The Omani students participated with 4 scientific environment researches in the 6th scientific exhibition and 22nd annual meeting of the Globe Environment Programme in Ireland. The exhibition is considered an opportunity for the students to conduct researches on natural elements that influence the environment. A number of work papers were presented during the event by the scientists in the field of air navigation, space, ocean, and atmosphere, in addition to presentations by students from 40 countries. Intelligent parking lots were inaugurated today in Knowledge Oasis in Muscat. They will work on the efficient use of areas to accommodate more vehicles. This kind of parking places reduce random parkings of vehicles. They are part of the county's plan towards smart cities. As an effort to protect and save the environment, an artistic exhibition for recycled car tires was inaugurated in Oman Society for Fine Arts in the Governorate of Buraimi. The exhibition aims to spread awareness that recycling tires can be used creatively for the benefit of the societies by showing pictures and simplified examples on how to use consumed tires, which are a threat on the environment, in an artistic manner by making fine artworks that suit the needs of the person in their surrounding environment to satisfy their material needs. Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry in the Governorate of South Sharqiya organized Cybersecurity and Insurance Symposium as part of the first Al Afiya Awareness Forum. More details in the following report by Sultan bin Saif Sarai.
Afiya Awareness Forum was the beginning of the social initiative by Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry in South Sharqiya Governorate, where it talked about cybersecurity and insurance products in the Sultanate.
Cybersecurity a little bit differentiate than information security in general. Information security concerns with information in whatever format it is, whether it's printed on paper, written by hand, or it's been stored in a computer system. When cybersecurity, it's specialized in protecting the information that travels between domains, so in electronic forms.
The forum included various papers and presentations presented in 2 sessions, where the first session was about insurance types and products for individuals and organizations, and the second session shed light on cybersecurity and its legal aspects for internet and social media users.
The Oman nation is becoming more and more aware of cybersecurity threats in general. So yes, we are becoming more aware. There are some threats that are unknown to them. However, we are, as a nation, we are ready to be more protected and to be more productive. And our participation in such events as Oman National CERT, we are here to aware the people of the latest trends in the threats of cybersecurity itself.
This gathering came to raise people's awareness in the society about how to deal with modern technology obstacles, as well as to introduce the latest technologies in media to be used to send positive awareness messages. 5 keynote speakers talked about different types of insurance here in this session as kind of awareness for the customers to know more about the different categories of insurance. Sultan bin Saif Sarai from Sur, South Al-Sharqiya Governorate.
Musana municipality destroyed around 1.5 tons of pickle unsuitable for human consumption after sending some samples to the lab which showed that the pickles did not correspond with the specifications. The municipality worked to ensure the food safety and to reach the products to the consumers in good health. Governorate of Al-Dhahira is famous for its deep-rooted heritage, which makes it a stunning touristic destination. The governorate includes many archaeological and historical sites, some of which were enlisted in the UNESCO's World Heritage list, like archaeological sites of Bat. It is worth mentioning that the large majority of tourists who visit Al-Dhahira Governorate are from Europe, namely from Germany. Wilayats of Al-Dhahira Governorate includes a number of castles and forts, some of which are more than 300 years old. The wilayats of the governorate enjoy diverse geographical features beside the historical and archaeological sites. It has old souks, wadis, mountains, and sand dunes, which also attract tourists from the Gulf cooperation countries. School students also pay regular visits to these sites in order to acquaint with the unique history of Oman. Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Cloudy skies will prevail over the coastal areas of the Governorate of Dhofar and its nearby mountains, with chances of intermittent drizzle. Rest of the Sultanate will have clear skies with chances of cloud accumulation and scattered rainfall over Al-Hajar mountains. Low clouds and fog late at night and early morning are expected over the coasts of the Arabian Sea and the Sea of Oman. Winds will be southwesterly light to moderate, and seas will be slight to moderate with a maximum wave height of 1.5 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The Omani-Indian businessmen meeting discusses in Muscat enhancing investment opportunities in a number of fields between the Sultanate and India. With the participation of 19 countries, the medical conference discusses in Salalah developing drug monitoring. And the Secretary General of the Ministry of Defense and a number of commanders review military cooperation fields with the British Defense Senior Advisor to the Middle East. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, thank you for watching and have a great night.